right, last week on Gleeboot, they sang Landslide, Goop was back, and we had some really confusing messages about sex education. And that's what you missed on Gleeboot.
Yeah, it was very confusing. I still don't know if I'm supposed to have sex or not.
Tell me, Ryan Murphy. Welcome back to Gleeboot, the show where we get drunk and talk about rebooting Glee. I'm Cullen.
Alyssa.
I'm Hannah.
And we have one of our best friends here, our special guest, Brittany.
Yay!
Hello!
Welcome, Brittany.
Thanks, it's great to be here.
Brittany went to grad school with all of us, so we may use some complicated terms. Yeah. Character,
plot,
scene.
Oh my goodness.
Oh god, this is
protagonist.
Protagonist. Ooh,
catharsis.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Now we have to use catharsis. Now we have to use catharsis.
We have no choice.
Yeah, lots of industry terminology, guys.
Real inside baseball stuff.
So, Brittany, are you drinking anything?
Yes, I am actually. So because I've been stuck at home, I actually tried brewing my own beer, and it's finally ready.
Whoa.
So I'm trying. It's what flavor is it? It's like a maple porter, chocolate maple porter. And it's okay.
Yeah. I was gonna ask, is it any good?
You know, a lot of people say that for your first attempt, you should just not be ashamed to have to throw it out, and we're not there, so I call it a win.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's not great, but I'm not pitching it, so
yeah,
that's good.
That's where we're at.
Cool.
Yeah. How about you guys?
What we're drinking?
Yeah.
I'm drinking a lime and watermelon gin and tonic.
Ooh,
interesting.
Fancy.
It's pretty yummy. The watermelon is spot on. I'm always really good at choosing personal watermelons at the grocery store.
That's a superpower.
Yeah, you may have to teach me.
Oh my goodness.
Mm-hmm.
You're on.
Because I picked a watermelon and it was fine. But, like, I've had better watermelons.
It's all about the vibration.
The vibration. Oh.
Good vibrations?
Such a good vibration. You covered on Glee a long time ago.
Hey, that was the song you were singing, right? The Glee cover.
Yeah, I wasn't singing the original. It's very, very distinct.
Well, obviously, we don't have the rights to the original. Come on.
I'm drinking Screwdriver Smirnoff Ice, or as my Glee name for it is, Loser Like Me. Nice. Because this drink like me is a loser. Because it's a Smirnoff Ice.
And yet...
How appropriate.
Cullen opened it 5 minutes ago, and there's less than an inch left in the bottle.
Wow.
That's impressive.
So it must be pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, shit on it all you want, but Smirnoff Ice it's got a nice taste to it, you know?
Yeah, they're very easy to get down.
They're too sweet for me, and that's saying a lot.
I was gonna say, that's saying a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe those are secretly the wine coolers Puck used to get Quinn pregnant.
I bet you.
Triggered.
Probably was super triggered.
Too soon.
Too soon. It was 10 years ago, but also still too soon.
Yeah.
I'm also drinking something watermelony. I'm gonna call it. What was the song called that Rachel sings? Get It Right. Because like watermelons, I can't really pick them right, can't really get them right. But this drink, I think I got it right. It's a watermelon margarita made with fresh watermelon, simmered with sugar, so it's nice and sweet. And then I poured a shit ton of tequila in it and shook it up and poured it in a glass.
Nice.
That sounds delicious.
It's got like chunks of watermelon in it, so like it's kind of like I'm eating a watermelon, like a alcoholic watermelon. It's pretty good.
Awesome.
Have you ever? So my mom told me about this thing that she did when she was younger, and she went camping with all her college friends. They took giant watermelons with them and like drilled holes in it
Yep.
and then filled it with vodka.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
It sounds amazing. I've never tried it.
I know. I kind of want to do it, but then I'm also like, I don't know. That's a lot of alcohol.
Well, it's not like she ate the entire watermelon by herself.
True, but like if I'm doing it, I probably would be eating the entire watermelon by myself.
I know, that's the thing. I'm like, okay, we have to wait until COVID's over to try this.
Okay, yeah. Next time I come to visit,
multiple people.
We're gonna
That's
do
what we're
that.
doing.
Yeah.
There's also my kickball captain, because I'm on an adult kickball league. That's where I'm at in my life. But
awesome.
my kickball captain makes kind of like a spin on jungle juice. And then what we do is we put frozen fruit in it instead of ice, so it doesn't get watered down. And then, like, once you've completed your drink, then the fruit has thawed. Yeah, the fruit has thawed and absorbed alcohol. So then it's like a little alcoholic snack at the end.
Nice.
Nom nom nom.
It's really sweet though. It gets you drunk fast. Eesh.
Nice.
Dangerous.
Speaking of dangerous things, Brittany, tell us your relationship with the show Glee.
For some reason, I thought you were going to ask about her homemade beer.
Oh Lord, where do I start? Probably when Glee began. So Glee premiered when I was a freshman in college, and so obviously I was a total Gleek, and we were all over it, and just, I don't remember what night it aired, but every night that it aired, we were all just in the common room watching it. Totally loved it. And then it went on hiatus, you know, as shows do, and when it came back, you know, I just spent an entire semester rooting for Will and Emma to get together. And then, like, the first episode back, he fucking cheats on her. Can I swear on this?
Yeah.
Yes. Every person asks this.
Great. He fucking cheats on her with Idina Menzel, and, like, I can't blame him, but I was so mad about it, because I was like, what is this show? It's ridiculous. Also, I'm taking 19 credit hours. I don't have time for this. So I stopped watching, and then, I remember, like, then when the Rocky Horror episode happened, I watched that because I love Rocky Horror. And then when I was like, oh my God, what is happening on this show? And then and then the only other episode I watched live outside of, like, the first half of season 1 was there. Again, I don't want to spoil anything for people who haven't seen it yet, but when a certain actor dies and they pay tribute to him in an episode, I watched that one live, and that, like, had me weeping. And then after college, did a watch through, and fell in love with Faberry. And once season 4 hit, I didn't actually watch any of the stuff with the new characters. I would, like, fast forward to all the scenes of the characters in New York. And that's my relationship with Glee. I'm very familiar with seasons 1 through 3, and then sort of familiar with seasons 4 through 6.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a
More
journey.
than I'm familiar with.
It is a journey.
Yeah. And now I'm rewatching it for this podcast. And what a trip.
And I thank you so much. Like, you and a couple other people literally were like, oh, well, I might as well just start from the beginning. And I'm like, wow. It took me how many weeks to do that? Wow, more power to you. So thank you for doing that.
Anytime. And, you know, it's made me question a lot of things about, you know, Brittany from 11 years ago, who genuinely loved this show and was like, oh, Sue Sylvester, and now I'm like, yeah, Sue Sylvester.
I think it would be more concerning if anyone didn't question themselves from 11 years ago.
True.
That's
true,
fair.
True.
Yeah. Thankfully, a lot
and
of growth has
Glee's a
happened.
good way to start that reflection if someone needs a start.
It's a good litmus test. Have you actually changed? Go watch this show. Yeah.
Now, did you take any of the BuzzFeed quizzes?
I took them both and some extras.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yeah. Okay. So for which Glee character I am, then spend a day as a New Directions member, I got Finn Hudson.
Oh my God.
Which I'm actually kind of okay with, except it's like, you're a leader, and I'm like, no, I'm not. But, like, I do know how to motivate people. I am very good at that. generally, and I get it. But also, I would never believe that I impregnated someone because I, like, came in a hot tub. And so it's a balance where I was like, okay, there's worse characters, there's better characters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What characters are you guys?
So Cullen and I self-assigned a bunch of people, including ourselves. I assigned myself Santana.
Yes. I love that.
Yeah.
I'm Blaine.
Yep,
and
I see that.
I have been assigned to Rachel Berry.
And I think
nice.
when we did this, we assigned you Brittany S. Pierce.
I am okay with that, to be honest. She's great. Frankly, that's who I was hoping for. But, you know.
Cullen and I think also Allyssa still have yet to take the quizzes that we ask other people to take.
Oh, yeah.
We're pretty confident in our own choices, but we should test
took
it.
the boyfriend quiz.
Oh, yeah, we took the boyfriend quiz.
Okay, good.
Who's your boyfriend?
I don't know what this says about me, but I also got Finn Hudson.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
So I don't know if, like,
yourself.
Literally, I was like, oh man, am I, like, narcissistic? Like, what's happening here? But yeah, I got Finn Hudson. Finn is a leader who will always have your back and put you before himself. And I'm like, all right, I'm okay with that.
Nice.
So,
I question the putting you before himself.
you know, I'll talk. There's a couple episodes coming up for you that I think where I'm like, okay, I see it, but I won't spoil it.
Finn has a lot of ups and downs as a character. Yeah,
he's got a couple really bad moments coming.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Excited for that.
Hashtag excited.
Okay.
Yeah. And then did you play Glee Bingo or Glingo?
I did.
Did anyone get bingo? Or, as I put in our social media, get shoe? The best gift of them all.
I did not.
I didn't either.
I don't know when songs are from, so I wouldn't know if they covered a song from the 70s or 80s or 2001 to 2011, and I didn't Google.
Valid. Yeah, I didn't. I kind of got close with, like, the top row because Bert and Carol didn't show up.
Yeah.
But
same.
Yeah, everything else was kind of, like, very empty, and I was like, okay, so this episode, that must mean it's okay. And it was okay.
Right?
I really enjoyed this episode, and usually when you don't get bingo, it's a good sign that the episode isn't too tropey.
Yeah,
Cullen asked me, he goes, so how did you like the episode? And I was like, it wasn't terrible.
Yeah.
Revelation? What? There's an episode that's not terrible?
Just absolute garbage? What?
Yeah, I think, because, like I said to you guys earlier, I didn't realize this was regionals. I just thought it was another episode of filler before regionals. Of like, oh yeah, original songs. Nope, halfway through, it's regionals. And I was like, oh,
it's the actual
things are happening. Yeah, I was genuinely surprised.
This might be getting ahead of our conversation, but I was genuinely miffed that Oral Intensity only showed us one song.
I know, I wanted so many more Jesus songs.
I was like, come on, man. I was tempted to mark that down on my Glingo card as a song inappropriate for teenagers because it really bothers me when people say that they're, like, dating Jesus or Jesus is my homeboy. And that, like, kind of came close for me.
Jesus is my friend. Jesus.
Yeah.
All right.
Alas.
Yeah, imagine if they medleyed that with the song If I Can Only Imagine. Right.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Was that a big hit during that time? Because I remember it being a big hit, but I don't remember when.
So.
I think it has been a big hit since, like, 2002. It's been out for a while.
I remember they played it at a high school dance, and me, a very Christian teen, was annoyed. I was like, this is stupid.
Exactly. Oh, it came out in 1999. I'm on my computer because I took notes on the episode.
That's so old.
Yeah.
Right? It's like when I go shopping for a used car, and I'm like, 1999? that's not that old. And then I realized, 21 years old.
Right.
One of the best pieces of comedy in the podcast world is on the podcast Good Christian Fun. They played I Can Only Imagine at the same time as the Junior Asparagus cover of I Can Only Imagine. And it was horrifying.
Oh my god. I love that
amazing.
podcast.
Yeah.
So good.
So, let's get into talking about original song, a quality episode of Glee. We only have a few storylines to talk about. It was pretty streamlined, as the competition episodes are. So let's talk about our boy Kurt. The episode opens with a Maroon 5 cover, Misery. Blaine just opens the door, throws a bunch of sheet music in the air, and starts singing.
I literally wrote, this is how every episode should start, honestly.
Yeah.
I was so thrown off. I was like, what the hell is happening? Because during this whole time, I was watching Kurt and his reactions, and they did not line up with what was happening in the rest of the room. And I was like, what is going on? Is there some sort of subtext I'm missing here?
Like, Kurt looks pissed. Is it because he's gonna have to clean this up? Or, like, was he working on sheet music and now Blaine just, like, threw it in the air? Like...
And then I was like, wait, is this one of Blaine's, things where he's trying to serenade a lover? Because he did that a few episodes ago.
Yeah.
And I was very confused.
Did not go well.
Yeah. It turns out it's their pitch for a song at Gleeginals or Regionals.
It should be called Gleeginals. Come on.
It really should be.
And Kurt is looking upset, and Blaine's like, what did you think? And Kurt's like, well, to tell you the truth, it's one of your many solos, and it's becoming less the Warblers and more Blaine and the Pips.
Which I thought was really interesting, that like he literally went from one spotlight show at McKinley to another, and he's like comfortable being able to really stand, like obviously he stood up at McKinley for it, but like he stood up and then like he actually ended up making a difference. Like I feel like he felt comfortable enough to be like, this is just how I feel, everyone's super open about it. So like I thought that was like a really interesting, like actual deep moment.
That you're talking about Kurt expressing his feelings about the song?
Yeah, about being like, it's just gonna be Blaine and the Pips. Like, that's how we are.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow.
I mean, he's not saying anything that we haven't all thought.
Exactly.
Yeah. So Blaine is kind of like taken aback. And then at their next meeting, Kurt comes in all black.
Okay, so even before that, they're arguing. These young men are so dramatic. Like, I can't even get over it. But yeah, then Kurt walks in. I didn't even actually realize he was on all black until you said that. He's literally in mourning. He should have been wearing a veil over his face.
In one of the best teen mourning outfits since in Riverdale, the cheerleaders had black mourning regalia for a funeral.
Oh, it's good to know that Kurt is on par with the Riverdale Vixens.
Yeah, he is equal levels of dramatic. And so he walks in, and it's Pavarotti, the Warblers' canary, that Kurt keeps track of or takes care of, has died. And so he would like to sing a song to the canary, even though they should be prepping for regionals. And he pulls the tape out of his pocket. He hands it to them, and he sings Blackbird by the Beatles.
Which was, it was a beautiful song.
Mm-hmm.
It was.
I'm actually not a fan of Kurt's voice. I don't think he has that much range or depth. And, like, he's kind of a one-trick pony. No offense. But this, I was like, this is perfect.
Yeah.
We get a lot of shots of Blaine looking dreamy-eyed at him.
Yeah.
Like, oh my goodness.
Like, I think that was actually, one of Kurt's strong suits is being able to do sort of slower songs like this. But yeah, no, like, his rendition of it, I actually was kind of moved, and then I remembered this is for a bird. And I was like, what's going on?
Birds, I feel like I might have to do a little bit more research into this, but in my experience, birds' deaths seem to be very abrupt.
It certainly was in this episode.
I mean, that bird literally just like fell down.
Like, but in the midst of singing.
I would also be worried because it's a canary, right? Like, so they like, they're like
better
usually...
check his CO2 monitor.
Yes, they're like signs where something's wrong, and the bird died, and it was like, you guys should get your house checked out. Yeah. I thought that.
I had a bird who died.
Interesting.
And it was so tragic. I felt like a terrible person because when I came into my room, he was on the bottom of the cage with his legs straight up in the air. And it was hilarious.
I can imagine that being funny. Yeah.
Yeah, side splitting.
Wow.
Hot take: Alyssa hates birds. I think
I don't hate birds.
They're hilarious.
Takes joy in their passing.
Hey, if you're gonna take joy in something's passing, why not? You know, it's a sad thing, but
very true.
If you can see a silver lining and it makes you laugh,
everyone grieves in different ways.
Hot take from Gleeboot: death hilarious.
I didn't say that. I did not say that.
So Kurt sings Blackbird, Blaine gazes at him dreamily. And then at their next Warbler meeting, they're discussing whether, like, Blaine is going to take the lead in their Pink medley, or, like, which octave he's going to sing it in. They are so dramatic. My favorite is
They're passionate, you know?
The one with the gavel.
Because they have a whole court system going on to decide all these really stupid little things.
Yeah, like, was it in this scene or the one before where Blaine was like, I think we should change the color of this item and switch the color to this, and everyone was like, how dare you mock us, sir?
It was the one before, and it was
I literally was like,
that's when Kurt comes in, and I'm like, just adopt that.
What is going on with you guys?
Blue jackets with red piping, or red jackets with blue piping.
Are you insane?
I have to say that would sound kind of insane. I'm glad they said no to it.
Yeah. Maybe if they did a Gaga week, but...
Red is not a good color on everyone.
That's true. Anyway.
Yeah, and so Blaine suggests he's like, I would like to do a duet at regionals. And everyone's shocked.
And up in arms.
They're like, what? How dare you?
And he's like, because he says they're going to lose at regionals because they don't have the same diversity of voices as the New Directions.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Which I was impressed that he took Kurt's, like, thought to heart, you know?
Yeah, that's, like, kind of what I was getting at earlier, is that, like, Blaine literally, like, at the, sort of toward the end of Blackbird, he, like, stops singing, and he's looking dreamily at Kurt, but he's also kind of, like, I can't help but think that he's also thinking, like, wow, maybe he's right. Like, we're not giving enough credit to other people, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, then, like, but I love how Kurt was like, put me down on that auditions list. And then Blaine's like, nah, we're going to skip that.
Just like the New Directions, we're just going to select who gets an audition.
Yeah, literally nothing different.
A couple of episodes ago, there was a whole, like, to-do about, like, getting an audition and, like...
Yeah.
But now it doesn't matter. It's
and, like, a new person never gets to sing a solo or whatever, but, like...
No, I've auditioned 3 times.
Yeah, it's...
They actually, and then they got chosen for auditions, and we never got to see them sing their solos. I was very disappointed.
Maybe Blaine killed them and
took over their solos.
Solos and fed them to a bird or something.
Hilarious.
That's how Pavarotti died.
Exactly.
Too much spotlight.
Too much human flesh.
That's what I was thinking.
Blaine is the Carol Baskin of
Oh my god.
So he's like, no, I would like to sing this duet with Kurt. And he's like, who all agrees? And everyone's just like, yep.
We're going to get rid of however many years of tradition that we've been dramatically holding on to.
Like, they unanimously voted for Kurt. It was ridiculous.
They loved that Blackbird song.
It was great, you know?
I don't know. Like, it was okay. I don't know if it was like, let's do a duet worthy. I don't know.
It was directly in contrast with this first audition song, though. If you look at it as an audition song, it was a song that he wanted to sing specifically for someone else as being a bird, with no, like ulterior motive, and he was also emoting a lot. So direct juxtaposition. Kind of. It's not really juxtaposition because they were not right next to each other. But I am now juxtaposing them.
Yeah.
They have been juxtaposed.
It is done. I hit the gavel.
Yeah.
A Klain duet.
A Klain duet. And so Kurt is studying and Blaine's like, let's practice and
let's rehearse.
Yeah. And then there's a Klain kiss.
I finally sort of toward the beginning of the episode was like, oh my god, this is when they kiss. And I just keep having it in my notes until it happens. And I was like, kiss! I was so excited.
Do it! It was so good.
Like Blaine kind of like lays it all out there, and his line, he says, "You move me," like Kurt's face is like, whoa. And I was like, whoa, that's super romantic. I was moved by like that whole scene. It was just so good.
They have some good chemistry.
Yeah.
They have great chemistry.
Yeah, and it was a steamy kiss. It was cute.
And they're like, we should go practice. I thought we were. Make out more. And I was like, aw, good job. Good job, little teenagers.
The gay rights movement was invented at this moment.
Yes.
Exactly. Thank you. Thank you, Klain.
Thank you, Klain and Ryan Murphy.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. But yeah, like, Darren, oh my god.
Blaine.
I was reading, I wrote, okay, but Darren Criss looks like a really good kisser, and that's why I said Darren Criss. But just like everything that Blaine says kind of goes back to like what Kurt was saying a couple episodes ago, was like, I'm really into the romance and like the expression of those feelings, and it was just kind of like this little perfect moment. Yeah, I loved it a lot.
Full circle moment.
Yeah.
Well, and I loved Blaine's speech about, like, he put it so eloquently. I was like, you do go to private school. But, you know, he put it so eloquently where he was talking about, like, do you ever have this moment where it's like, oh, there you are. And just, like, I thought that was a nice, like, again, bringing it back full circle moment because, you know, a few episodes before he had serenaded the one guy who wasn't Kurt and was trying to do a big romantic gesture for him, and now just like having his eyes be open and being like, oh no, it's been Kurt this whole time. It's just so cute.
Is that a thing that actually happens?
What?
You live your life next to someone and then you just suddenly realize that they are your true love.
That's a good question. I've seen it a lot in movies, but I don't
know if
movies.
Movies is a thing.
I don't know if
I'm asking
it's a trope
about real life.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever heard of that actually happening in real life, but I know like a lot of people have yearned in such a way to be like, why doesn't this person just notice me? I'm right here, kind of thing.
I've had that where not necessarily where it was true love, but where it was like, this person's been next to me the whole time, and why didn't I see the romantic potential in them?
Yeah.
And then we dated, and we are no longer dating. But
so it didn't work.
Yeah. I mean, but like the same.
Yeah.
The same thing happened, just not quite true love.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I think definitely Blaine is being that really sort of like overarching romantic about it. Yeah.
Well, yeah, because it's a TV show. They want to blow it out.
And we already know that Blaine is a little crazy when it comes to expressing his love for someone.
A little over the top. But also so is Kurt, and it's perfect.
True.
This is slightly low-key for Blaine, actually.
Yeah, it's very low-key. He didn't have the Warblers come in singing whatever
like what
other...
I thought he was doing at the very beginning of the episode because I had no context.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't come in singing Mamma Mia with all the...
to rig. Okay, side note, there's a Mamma Mia 3 in the works, and that is my nightmare.
Are you kidding? It's my dream. It has been my dream for Mamma Mia to become the Fast and Furious of the movie musical franchise, and it is happening.
Oh my god. Mamma Mia Tokyo Drift.
Mamma Mia out of Greece.
I am obsessed. But no, Brittany, you know this because I'm pretty sure I had watched it and texted you as like, Brittany, I cannot take these fucking Grecian townspeople. I think I confessed
just popping
everything.
Up like creepers everywhere.
Yes.
And then in the sequel, they're all employed at the hotel, and it's...
See, I wanted to see... Okay, just a quick Mamma Mia thing. I did want to see the sequel because of Cher and also...
Lily James?
Yeah, she's kind of good too. But no, what's his name? Who ends up playing Cher's love interest? I cannot remember his name right now. He's from Ocean's 11.
Yeah, he owns a casino.
Yes, exactly. I just thought that concept of them being love interests was so compelling. And then I realized it was just going to be like a lot of singing the same songs and then other ABBA songs that aren't as popular. And I was like, I'm going to tap out of this one.
Nah, dude, you should watch it. It's worth it.
Oh, maybe I'll get really drunk and then just text you about it.
Please do.
Also, how dare you describe Lily James as like, okay, she's
right.
amazing.
I mean, she is really good. It's just I just wasn't really that.
She is
drawn
gorgeous
to
and
her
perfect, and has the voice of an angel, and she just rocks the overalls, man.
Lily James was in this. She was in Baby Driver. She was in Yesterday. She was in Cinderella.
She played Cinderella.
She's one where I bet if you pulled up a picture of her face, you'd go, "Oh, her."
The new Cinderella?
Yeah.
The one from 1950. She is the cartoon.
There are so many Cinderellas, you guys.
She was actually in the Brandy one.
Yeah, the actual Disney one.
The Disney remake. Okay.
Yes, the Disney live action remake
and
that kicked off.
And she is, I'm assuming, Cinderella.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
She plays the titular role.
I want Mamma Mia 3 to be called One Mama, Three Mias.
Oh my god. Yes.
Yeah.
I have so many hopes. I really hope that it's the son from the sequel all grown up and connecting with Meryl Streep's ghost. Not even like her character, but just Meryl Streep's ghost.
Like, wait, what? You know what? Maybe there's a lot of context I'm missing because I haven't seen the second one. So
yeah, a little bit.
I guess let's get back to Glee.
Which I do think they cover Mamma Mia eventually.
Yeah, next episode,
I sure
right?
hope so. I'm waiting for it.
So Kurt and Blaine kiss, and then at regionals they have a duet, and so Kurt's like, has anyone ever died on stage? And Blaine's like, don't be nervous, you'll be great. So they sing the song Candles.
Which was really new.
I hated it.
I wasn't blown away.
No, it's not. It wasn't good. Their voices do not go well together. I really wanted their voices to go well together because they go well together, but they don't. Their voices are terrible together.
Alyssa's like pulling her hair out. Like she's very passionate about that.
Wow. I kind of actually like that cover because it just reminds me of like when I used to listen to the Warblers album all the time. And I think I actually liked it better in context. I didn't mind it. It was okay. Didn't love it.
I was excited for Kurt because he like finally got to solo on stage, but I wasn't wowed by it.
Which is probably why.
Yeah.
They didn't win.
They didn't win, yeah.
I'm sorry, I skipped ahead, but I had to finish the thought.
But they did sing a killer Pink song.
Hell yeah.
Which is not appropriate for teens.
Nope.
Is that song not appropriate for... Oh, Raise Your Glass. I'm like...
Yeah.
I love
Raise
that
your
song.
glass
Teenagers can't drink.
Raise your glass of milk. Yeah, no. It's definitely...
Or
and then,
water.
Or soda.
But that's
Teens
not what
drink
it's about.
soda.
Teens
Slightly alcoholic, but not alcoholic enough to be illegal kombucha.
Okay. Yeah. I don't think Pink was singing about kombucha back then.
I want that to be a soundbite.
But there's also like mentions of like sex stuff in it too, I'm pretty sure. I wrote down a couple things. I was like, oh yeah, this is definitely not appropriate for teens, but I used to jam to this song.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I love that song. Sure.
Mm-hmm.
And as we learned from last week, teens both should and should not have sex.
True.
Yes.
And they should and should not sing about it. So I guess, you know what? It's fine.
It all cancels itself out.
Yes. It's like a math equation.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they sing Raise Your Glass, and they do this, like, because the Warblers' choreography is mainly just, like, walking around.
They're walking around in fancy patterns.
Which is also kind of the New Directions choreography.
Mm-hmm.
Which, also, can we talk about how the Warblers don't wear costumes? Like, they're literally wearing their school uniforms.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But Blaine does this thing where he's like, so raise your, and he like hops in line, and then he hops out.
Why? Can you tell me?
I love that little moment. I think it's great. It's like a physical record scratch. So raise your, hop out, so raise your glass.
Oh, okay. I did not see it that way. I just thought it was like, oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
Oh, but no, I like that idea. A physical record scratch. That's interesting. It's a thinker for me.
That part of the song always gets me. Not gonna lie.
You get teared up.
Yes.
She raises her glass.
Really?
Preach it, girl! Say it, Pink!
Raising my glass.
She's too school for cool. She's treated like a fool.
Anyway.
Yeah. How does this song always get you?
I forget that there's the record scratch in it. And
Yeah.
I just keep singing the lyrics. I look like an idiot.
Oh, okay. Like, I get it. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the Warblers section for regionals. And they do not win, but they are, at the end, Kurt and Blaine are burying Pavarotti in a bedazzled and bejeweled coffin.
Yeah.
And Blaine is like, this must be hard. This must remind you of your mother's funeral.
Weirdest line ever.
And Kurt's like, the coffin was bigger.
But yes. That's what he ends on. But yes. I thought that was so funny.
So, was his mother's coffin also bedazzled?
Ooh, good question.
That's what I want to know.
Well, we
did 7-year-old Kurt bedazzle his own dead mother's coffin?
Well, we did have the like flashbacks in the whatever episode was when
grilled cheeses.
Yes.
Grilled cheeses, yeah.
I don't remember. We'd have to go back. I don't think they would show us that it was bedazzled, because then everyone would be like, wait a second, this is ruining the really heartfelt moment. Why are there jewels on the coffin?
I don't even think that we saw the coffin at all. I think it was just the funeral.
I don't know. I don't remember.
With it already in the
ground.
And
also, I'm going to go on a limb and say Glee is not the poster child for continuity.
What? Oh my god,
I know.
Spoilers.
Why are you just telling me this?
Coming in with a hot take there.
The hottest take of them all.
Yeah, it is kind of a funny scene because they're like, well, you know, competition season is done, but we didn't get a trophy. We have each other. And he's like, and there'll be other performances. We perform at nursing homes all the time. And he's like, and there are plenty of gaps in the Northeast Ohio or the Northwest Ohio area.
His new mission is to get all of the assistant managers fired.
What a quest.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
that's kind of
sorry. Yeah, that's the Kurt storyline. I just got caught up in a thing. Was that assistant manager fired for being gay? That's illegal now.
So no, he was fired because people started dancing in his store.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
For him and because of him.
Yeah.
Caused a ruckus.
Ruckus.
So yeah, that is the Kurt storyline. It was nice. I love our boy Kurt. I love giving him a happy romantic storyline.
Always.
Yeah. So let's get into the reason I picked this episode for Brittany, the Faberry storyline.
Yes! I am ready.
Can you just explain this ship?
Without spoiling.
Okay.
Just a general, like, why it's your ship and why you see the connection.
So I think, and honestly, Original Song is one of the first instances that you can really point to and be like, hey, here is hard evidence. But essentially, the evolution of Rachel and Quinn's relationship over really 3 seasons. I know Quinn's in really over the first 3 seasons, you know, kind of the route it takes, and the way that their like viewpoints of each other and their feelings towards each other develop. I am very much of the mindset that they are in love. I think by the end of season 3, Quinn is consciously in love with Rachel. I think Rachel loves Quinn but isn't aware of it because she's such like a diva and like so focused on her own like Rachel dream that she can't really comprehend anything that is outside of that. But I think Quinn is aware of her feelings for Rachel by season 3. And this is the ship I will go down on, and they are everything. They love each other. They're great. And this episode has a really beautiful moment for the ship. Yeah.
Nice. Cool. I was unaware this was even a thing. So,
it's a thing. Get ready for me to send you GIFs because there are internet wizards of them who made GIFs of them like kissing, and there's really some great fan fiction. So like and in season 2, it's more about them building their like friendship as opposed to their like romantic relationship. That's more in season 3. But then so the kind of the fan canon is after season 3 and you know, as they kind of part ways and go to college, Quinn goes into the television business, and I don't know if you know this, but Diana Agron starred in a Killers music video called Just Another Girl. And so kind of the fan canon is like that video is her trying to get over Rachel Berry, is Quinn trying to get over Rachel Berry. But no, this is the ship I go down on. And also, like, even if you pay attention to Quinn's relationship with boys, like, throughout seasons 1, 2, and 3, like, she never seems to actually be into them. It's either, like, manipulating them or, like, I'm pregnant, my baby needs a daddy, maybe. I don't know. And never actual, like, deep feelings.
Interesting.
Well, I agree
Which
with
is
that
fair because
sentence.
She's so focused on prom right now with Finn. Yeah, I can definitely see that.
Sentiment.
Exactly. And
she kind of was the same
even
way
with
Sam too.
Exactly. And like in my rewatch, like I was telling you guys earlier, I went a little bit past this and I'm about to watch the prom episode, but like it's been a few years since I've watched season 3, and so like I don't remember who she's with or not with in season 3, but I will say, like, when I still lived in Michigan, I would go over to my, like, one of my best friend's house, and we would just stay up to like 3 a.m. just watching Faberry scenes and being like, oh my god. Yeah, we still to this day, like, I'll just get a text from nowhere being like, this is a good Faberry fic, go to AO3 and check it out, and I'll be like, okay. And then there's one that I had an idea for that she keeps bugging me to work on, so maybe I'll do that tonight, but we'll see. But I'm gonna say, do you want to go through, like, I don't know how you want to handle the New Direction storyline, but I can talk about the Faberry moment for this episode.
So we'll go through because I have Rachel and Quinn as their own separate storyline.
Awesome.
So we'll kind of walk through that storyline. And I did stumble on a Faberry fanfic once. It was a crossover between that and Riverdale, and it was only updated like 2 chapters, and I'm forever disappointed.
That's the true heartbreak of fanfiction, is when you find a really great one and then it's not updated ever.
That's why I always filter by completed.
Smart.
Yeah. I don't like heartbreak in my fanfictions. Therefore, just cut out my heart. I
think the worst, this is a major sidebar, but the only fanfic that really did me dirty was one where, like, it was simply outstanding. It wasn't for Glee, it was for the 100. It was Fix-It, like, alternate, like, it was like alternate reality fan fiction because it was set in like this reality, not the one in the 100. And just absolutely astounding writing. And I remember the day that the last chapter was posted, I had no idea it was coming. I left work early so that I could go home and read it. And then, like, a couple months later, she got a book deal for it, and so she changed the names and took it down. And so now if I want to read it...
Did she tell anyone what this book is called?
Oh, yeah, and, like, I've contemplated buying it, but, you know, I don't know. There's just something about the magic of it being a fan fiction. And just, like, I don't like that it's not there anymore.
I found an original... It wasn't a fan fiction, it was an original fiction online, and then this person got a book deal and took it down. And I cannot find it anywhere. Like, I have no idea what it got published as. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I'll never be able to find it again. It was so good. I loved it.
Right? Oh.
Well, I could tell you what it is, and then maybe people who are listening would know. And then if you do know, hit us up on Instagram. So the story is...
Everyone's going on a fanfic hunt.
Let's do it.
This is original fiction. Hunt. It's fine, but if you think that the book that you read is this, please tell us / me. Okay? The story is about a prince who everyone in the kingdom thinks is very evil, but really all of his motivations are good motivations, and he just acts evil because he wants to keep up this facade that his father and the rest of his noble court wants him to have. That's it. That's the whole spiel.
Okay.
Gleeboot listeners, you have a mission.
I will find this.
It's so good. It's so good. I love it so much. And it's very, I feel like it would be YA.
Okay. That sounds YA,
yeah.
Yeah,
I
very
hear keyboard
YA.
typing. Brittany, are you already looking for it?
I love a good mission.
So, Rachel and Quinn. So, the episode opens with, after the Kurt and Blaine's opener, we see Rachel pulls in Finn to show him her latest song, which is Only Child, which she sings like 5 times. And she's like, it's called Only Child. And he's like, I got it.
I don't understand the Only Child song, though, because she does not come across as someone who actually would want to have a sibling.
Siblings.
Unless it's to compete against them for her parents' love.
Wait, Hannah, you're an only child.
Yeah.
Did you feel any, like, connection to this song?
No, because I was like, Rachel's a fucking liar. She loves being the star. Why would she want siblings? Again, unless it is to compete against them for her parents' love.
Dads, pick a favorite.
Yeah, it did not bring a tear to my eye.
Well, it did from laughing for me, but right. I think too, like, because she was like, I mean, because similar to my Headband, like, she was trying to find something that was deep, and so she was probably like, being the only daughter of 2 gay dads, people probably think I'm really sad about not having siblings. And so then she tried to write a song about it, but it's not actually something she gives a shit about, and that's why the song sucked.
So she starts something about, like, eggs, and I thought it was gonna be, like, like a ditty for, like, some sort
brunch?
Of, like, egg, or, like, brunch thing. I was like, oh, no, it's still going. Oh, Only Child, got it.
No, I think the best part about this scene is that Finn was, like, into it for the first couple of verses. And I was like, what the hell is going on? This is not good. And he's like, yeah, this is good. And then it got to the Only Child part, and it was terrible, and he finally figured out it was terrible. But what the, like, the eggs? No, what?
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't trust Finn's judgment ever since he thought that he could get a girl pregnant through a hot tub.
Through a hot tub.
So ever since episode, like, 2.
Yeah.
This episode, like, I can't remember, this scene made me laugh out loud, and I laughed out loud multiple times during this episode.
Yes.
It's been a while since Glee has made me do that. So, this was fun. So then Quinn is watching them talk about the song, and she's like, it worries me, I'm worried about Finn, like, how damaged does someone have to be into someone as annoying as Rachel? And
you're just shoving down your own feelings, girl.
She's covering up with that giant hat.
Yeah.
Which was god awful.
We need to talk about Brittany's hat.
Brittany's hat, I understand, I support. Quinn's hat, she knows better.
Yeah.
Although, what she's saying about Finn being into Rachel is kind of accurate, but, like,
100%.
not in the it's like, that's kind of how I feel about codependent relationships. We're like, you both need each other way too much. Work on your self-esteem.
This isn't healthy.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And so Quinn is talking about how she wants to be with Finn and how together they'd be a shoo-in for prom queen. And she's like, I know you're thinking, you've had a baby, you're gorgeous, why do you need to be prom queen? And she's like, prom queens live average 5 years longer.
Yeah, because they smile so much.
I don't know how accurate that is. Just gonna
and she's looking at this collection of tiaras,
which makes me wonder. I wonder if they're her moms, who was like maybe like a beauty queen in the back in the day. That was my sort of headcanon I decided on.
Interesting.
In her like voiceover, she says, "I'm relatively sane for a girl," and I was like, "That's right. Glee has to remind us that women hate themselves."
Yes. And that you can't like guys and girls at the same time.
Yeah, that's
a whole other rant.
Yeah, because I only exist once a year.
Yes.
What?
Exactly.
On Bi Awareness Day.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh.
We're suddenly aware of her.
Cullen will text me, I am aware of you today.
I didn't even know, I was not aware that Bi Awareness Day existed. So.
Alyssa's never aware of you, Hannah.
I was not aware.
She doesn't even know who she's talking to.
I didn't say I was unaware of bisexuals. I said I was unaware of the day.
Uh-huh.
Sure.
That's what they all say.
And then every other day you are erased by Glee.
Yeah, exactly.
When are pansexuals going to get an awareness day?
I'm sure they have one.
Lord.
Is there one? I have no idea.
To the Google.
To the Google. Another mission.
So many missions.
But yeah, Quinn's wearing an ugly hat. She says, I'm relatively sane for a girl. And I'm like, cool, that's nice.
And she wants to be prom queen with Finn as prom king because he won the big game.
Yeah.
So
obviously.
She wants. Yes.
Pansexual Awareness Day is May 24th. We missed it.
Oh
Dang
no.
It.
And now I can't be aware of them.
Well, like,
for a whole year.
I didn't even know that pansexuals existed until I realized that I was one.
There you go.
Crazy. Wow, y'all are really quiet right now.
What a funny world.
Because I think you just came out to, at least to me right now.
No, it's like you just, yeah.
Same here.
Yeah.
You've talked about it, but never like put it into.
I remember like
exactly.
having conversations with you about being like, yeah, I don't know what's going on with me. I'm like, that's cool. And then yeah, this happened.
Oh, sorry.
You know what?
I'm excited for you.
It doesn't matter if it's the awareness day or not. I am aware of you, Alyssa.
Oh, thank you.
I am aware of you.
I also just came out to literally every listener. So, y'all know.
Everyone.
Yeah.
So we captured this beautiful moment on air. What a day.
I'm so touched.
This episode is full of so many tangents. And I think it's because Glee, this episode just doesn't have enough for us to rant about.
No, it's true, because this episode is actually pretty okay, so now we just have to do
We're just having regular conversation.
We're just shooting the shit at this point.
Yeah, we're not even that behind in going through the episode. Like, we've been more behind. Yeah. So then Quinn and Finn are talking, and Quinn's like, I want to go public with our relationship, so we can start running for prom king and queen. And Finn's like, Rachel's really fragile right now. I don't want to do that to her. And he's like, we should wait till after nationals. And she's like, no, before it was after regionals, then it was after nationals. And Finn's like, ooh, scary Quinn.
Marking down as scared and horny.
And Quinn, so Quinn convinces him to come out with their relationship after regionals. And they kind of like hold hands-ish down the hall, and then they separate, and Rachel watches them, lurking like a stalker.
Everyone in Glee loves a good lurk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So then in Glee Club, Rachel is like, let's write original songs, because Sue came up to Will and with a cease and desist from the band My Chemical Romance that they can't sing the song Sing because she had an affair with the drummer once on a beach, and she called them, and like once they found out, they weren't happy with it. And so Will is like, so we have to find a new song, and Rachel's like, let's try original songs, and everyone's like, no, and then
wait. Was there a reason that she gave that My Chemical Romance wasn't happy?
No.
Are you sure? I feel like there was one.
I don't remember.
I don't know.
No, it was just, they just haven't.
No, there definitely was one. Because it had something to do with Will, and he's like, that's not even true!
Oh, because of your long-standing battle with PETA.
Yes!
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I knew there was one. Okay.
Yeah, and he's like, that's not even true. Yeah. Yes, good call.
That's so funny.
And we're okay, and then
sorry, derailed.
No, it's all good.
Worth it.
Yeah, definitely worth it. And so then Quinn is like, yeah, no, I agree with Rachel. We should try original songs. Like, everyone else will be singing these songs about other people's emotions, but we can sing songs from our emotions. And Finn's like, well, if Rachel and Quinn agree, I think we can all agree. And
which is a good point, I think.
Yeah, he's not wrong.
If these people who are always at odds can agree, I think we should go with this idea.
Yeah, just ride this wave.
So they decide to try their hand at writing original songs. Rachel and Quinn decide to team up to work on a song together. So we have this great, I think this is what the scene you're referring to as the big Faberry scene, where Quinn is plinking on the piano and Rachel comes in and is like, we're friends, right? And Quinn's like, yeah, I suppose so. And she's like, let's be honest with each other. Are you dating Finn? And Quinn is like, yes, we are. And Rachel's like, how could you? He chose me over you. And Quinn's like, how long did that last? And Rachel's like, why are you being so mean? And she's like, okay, if we're going to be mean, like, Finn and I are going to get married and start a family. He'll work at Kurt's dad's tire shop. I'll become a real estate agent. And we'll start a family.
A successful one.
A successful one. And you don't belong here, Rachel, and you can't get mad at me for sending you on your way. How many times do you have to make the same mistakes before you get it right? And then Rachel's like, I need to work on this song by myself, and walks off crying. So let's discuss.
So
let's.
The big thing I got from that, and actually this does kind of get to what Brittany was saying earlier, is that, like, I guess it's just something I never noticed, but Quinn recognizes that, like, Rachel's not meant to be in the small town because she's supposed to be doing, I guess, something bigger, for lack of a better term. And she's kind of being both selfless in an odd way and then very selfish. And it's very, very interesting. I thought this scene was very, very interesting.
It really is. And I think because the show posits Quinn as Rachel's antagonist, like, you're supposed to take it as Quinn just, like, being a bitch and saying what she has to. But I think if you really look into it, and I think especially, like, with the emotion in Quinn's voice as she tells Rachel, like, you don't belong here.
It doesn't sound mean. It's kind of matter of fact.
It's almost like, it really is, and just like an acceptance of Quinn's future as a successful real estate agent and mother of 2.5 kids. And and I think it starts to speak to, in the Faberry fandom, it starts to speak to, like, Quinn deeply cares for Rachel, and really does want her to succeed. And I mean, when we talk about what happens next and the song that Rachel writes that she ends up performing and winning regionals with, like, Quinn is the one who, because I mean, Finn told Rachel, like, you got to write about something that matters, but it was only Quinn that was able to break her down and get her to that point. I was like, oh, Quinn is Rachel's muse. But not in, like, a cute, sexy way, but in a very, like, real way where Quinn laid truth on Rachel, and it got her to a point where she was able to, like, go and do something extraordinary, and prove that, like, yes, she is like bound to be greater than Lima, Ohio. I love them so much.
Why doesn't Quinn think that she can be anything greater than a successful real estate agent? I mean, if real estate agent is her, like, ultimate dream, all the more power to her. But
absolutely.
I get the feeling that this was, I am settling.
Yeah.
Almost like a falling on her sword, because she knows that if she doesn't date Finn, Rachel and Finn will end up together, and then Rachel will get stuck in this life. So she's, but also, like, I mean, I think Quinn does, love Finn in her own way, and or at least like him, or think that like if she's gonna settle down, it might as well be with this like kind idiot. And so it is kind of like falling on her sword for Rachel a little bit.
I think, like, rather than necessarily settling, it kind of feels like Quinn, at least in this moment, seems somewhat comfortable with the idea of, like, my life is going to be a bit quaint. And, like, she's striving to something more normal, or, you know, for lack of a better word, that, like, she feels comfortable taking this path of being like, we're gonna stay in the town that we grew up in, we're gonna build a family here, we're gonna have a next generation of William McKinley High School Glee Club members and
football players and
football
Cheerios.
players, yeah. And it's like she's willing to create a legacy in this town.
It felt so out of tune for her.
Why is that?
Because I always imagine Quinn having extreme goals, like in the cheerleaders, even though they might be short-sighted, they're much more, she is incredibly goal-oriented, even sometimes more so than Rachel, because Rachel has these ultimate dreams, but she does not know how to get what she wants in the moment. So when Quinn was like, yeah, my future is going to be a mother in my hometown, I was like, wow, that seems really odd.
Well, and I think one of the beautiful things about this moment too is it kind of hits a chord of like, oh shit, she's right. Because I think, I mean, all of us are from the Midwest, right? And and that's where they are. Like, something that the show brings up jokingly, but like, Lima loser and whatever. But where is it going? But yeah, I think we all know people who dreamed of great things. Like, I know, and who just didn't, and are now, like, for lack of better term, like stuck in a life that maybe they didn't dream for themselves, and they're happy. And, you know, I won't speak for you guys, but I definitely know people that I went to high school with who, like, if you had told me in high school, this person is going to still be here raising kids, like doing this thing, I'd have been like, you're crazy. Like, she's going to be off doing this, or he's going to be off doing this. And so I think there is that strain of realism there that a lot of people do get stuck despite.
Okay, I concede this point. However, were any of the people who are now stuck during high school, were they like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be stuck here as a mother? Like, because I don't know, it just feels weird to me that a high school girl, and maybe it's because she already got pregnant, but yeah, I think that, and maybe this is like a Ryan Murphy thing, but I feel like becoming pregnant in high school and having the strength to give up your baby so that you can continue with your life is something that would really affect Quinn and have her set goals outside of this town.
That I 100% agree with. I think they just have not come to terms with what Quinn really wants, because like even like in the first season, this probably was because she was pregnant, she was coming to terms with being like, I'm gonna be here because I have a baby now, that kind of thing. And yeah, like, we really don't know how getting pregnant and having to give the baby has really affected her and her goals. Like, we have really no inkling, and now we're like, no, apparently she's just gonna stay. Oh
yeah.
Someone,
you know, maybe if she wins, maybe if she wins prom queen, then she'll get her ambition back. But
I think this was a really good scene that was made good by the performances. I think the lines written were supposed to be Quinn is mean, and because that's often the pole Ryan Murphy wanted to skewer Quinn in, and then the actress Diana Agron, who is just so talented,
amazing,
took the script to another level and added that you don't belong here because I wanted, and in the Gleeboot, I would put in a line, because you belong somewhere else, you belong in New York. But it's like, she added that subtext. I think that wasn't 100%. Written to be in the script. I think she put it in there and she added this depth. And that's why there are shippers for them. Yeah. Because what was meant to be just this straight up mean girl scene was given a lot of emotional depth and complexity. And that's why we're examining it so much, because it is an interesting scene, and it's interesting to look into Quinn's head and see how she's kind of at odds with, like, does she want to settle down? Does she think she fits in? Does she think Rachel? Where does Rachel fit? It was a great scene.
It really was. It really was. It was so good. And I was like, oh, she loves Rachel so much.
And it
always bring it back.
And it inspires Rachel's song that she writes and performs at regionals. Get It Right. She sings it. She sings it, and like halfway through, Kurt is like, "Oh my God, they're doing original songs."
Right.
I love how long it took Kurt to realize. I was like, has he just been like sitting there going through the entire catalog of music that he knows?
Yeah, like, wait a second, have I heard that? Maybe I have. Maybe it's super new. Oh my God, Bland, they're doing original songs. Kurt, come on, you're smarter than this.
Get with the program, buddy.
I feel like it probably wasn't even him. I bet he probably like would have done it literally in the first 5 seconds, but the editors put it in too late.
Yeah.
Whereas if it was me, I'd be like,
I don't know this song.
Sounds pretty cool. I wonder who wrote it. I'm gonna look it up later.
Right?
Yeah, it's like, Kurt, do you know all the songs that have ever existed?
Oh, Lord.
She has Brittany and Tina as her backup singers, and this is our first original song that we're discussing, so what do y'all think?
It's not bad.
I thought it was good.
I definitely I like it. Like, I've listened to it on whatever soundtrack or whatever, because I think it is a pretty decent song. It's pretty good. But there's a lot there's some things in the lyrics of like, I wrote it down because I was confused. She's like, when your good isn't good enough and you have good intentions, stuff like that. And I'm like, but Rachel very often doesn't have good intentions, and she's really selfish. And so I was like, I'm confused. And then I wrote, but it's a nice song though.
Right.
Good intentions are all about the perspective.
Exactly. And that's where it comes down to, like, again, like, in some ways, like, I think it's a bit performative because she's pretty selfish and she knows that. But then again, like you're saying, like, she's thinking that she's trying to do her best and she's trying to have good intentions. It's way more complex when you really look into it, honestly.
It's definitely a much more traditional, like, nice girl song, and Rachel, like, has the facade of, like, the nice girl next door. Yeah. But she's a lot more complicated than that.
Yeah.
I remember thinking it's a really big step up from Headband and Only Child, and I didn't believe that she actually wrote it because I kind of believe she has no songwriting talent.
I 100% agree. This feels like she paid somebody to do it.
Oh,
what an insult to my headband.
Brittany's favorite song.
Brittany's favorite
I need to know why Brittany knows that song. That's what I need to know.
She was lurking.
Lurking.
After Rachel threw it in the trash bin. Brittany.
Maybe.
There we go.
Yes.
Can Brittany read music? Maybe she has an entirely different tune to it.
She's a musical genius.
What if she is?
Obviously.
That is the only thing that she does really well. Dancing and reading music.
I can see that.
That's amazing.
Because she's a genius in this, she's not a genius anywhere else.
Yeah, she dedicates all of her like brain power to those facets.
Yes.
I can see that.
Yeah, and so before the song, Finn is like, break a leg, and she's like, last time we were here, you told me you loved me. And he's just like,
shrug, smirk,
awkward.
I like your song.
Yeah.
Thanks, baby.
Yeah.
See you later.
That was so awkward and like unnecessarily dramatic. I just was like, oh, these kids.
I loved it because it was so Rachel to just be so awkward and like
just to like bring this up right as she's about to go on to perform her original song.
It's only gonna fuel her squint singing even more.
Oh, this is where I died. This is when she's talking about Only Child and Finn's like, you need to access your emotion, and she's like, I can access my emotion. I cry during every solo.
Yes, and I was like,
at least she's aware.
Okay, can we talk a little bit about like her actually writing the song? We see a little flashback. Is that in the
scene? It's right before it.
It's right after the scene with Quinn.
Yes. So we see this
like,
flashback.
She's got like 4 pieces of paper crumpled up in front of her, which we're supposed to assume are other lyrics. I just think it's crumpled piece of paper. She needed to perform it for herself. And she has like a mascara-filled tear.
Oh my goodness. But it's not a real tear. She has to like squinch up her face in order for it to come out of her face. Like, it was disappointing. Like, she does better squint singing / crying than she does just crying without the actual singing.
She needs to cry to sing. Or she needs to sing to cry.
Yes.
She needs the music to make her feel.
Oh my goodness, you guys. What if she can't actually emote unless she's singing? Like, it's like some psychological break in which she can't emote anything unless she's singing. And then she loses her voice.
Dark.
Well, we've already seen where she like loses her voice in that laryngitis episode, and she still has plenty of emotion. Yeah, she still has plenty of emotion.
Okay.
The episode called Laryngitis where she has bronchitis.
Yep.
But yeah, exactly. But no, I mean, like we talked about earlier, continuity, Glee, every episode exists in a different universe. It's possible.
Correct.
What you're saying, Alissa. It's definitely possible. In this universe.
Yes. In the Gleeboot.
No.
In the Gleeboot, she is for sure a sociopath.
No question.
But a sociopath with the best intentions. Even sociopaths can have good intentions.
Again, literally a matter of perspective, especially when it comes to sociopaths.
But here's a question for you.
Oh no.
Let's go.
Okay, so you have a person for which it's very difficult for them to do good things. For example, a sociopath. And they end up doing a good thing because they try really hard at it, right? And then you have a person for which it's really easy to do good things because they were born with a moral compass, and so it doesn't take as much effort. Who has, I suppose, the greater, like, which good thing is greater on a scale?
A scale.
Yes.
Alyssa's doing a lot of gestures right now.
Like a karmic scale.
Yes. The person for which a good thing is very hard to do, and they do it through copious effort, or the person who does a really good thing without trying at all.
I don't know. What would God say? God would probably be like, yo, we can't really measure these. I can't measure sins. I can't even measure good intentions, right?
Yeah.
God's not even in the question.
God would say, great job, baby.
Yeah.
I mean,
everything is equal.
Yeah, it's kind of.
I post this in my morality class, by the way, and everyone thought I was crazy. But I was like, it's a real question, philosophically speaking. Like, it's really interesting to think about.
Yeah,
it is.
And then in Glee.
But none of you answered the question.
I'm not a philosopher.
I have to be a philosopher to think about it.
If we go by like how like there's no sin greater than another, then there's gonna be no good intentions greater than another.
Ah, interesting.
But there are sins that are greater than others. Yeah, I'm gonna say it. Gossiping isn't as bad as murder.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, then we should be freeing all of those people who went to hell for gossip.
Open the gates, buddy. That's what God. This is how God talks.
Let the hat in Cullen's headcanon.
Yes.
All right, message us on Instagram telling us who you think, or maybe Hannah, you should make one of those polls.
Oh God, Alyssa, this is probably gonna be edited out of the podcast.
No, I love this question. Why? It's a great question because it's a good question. It makes people think about things that they're uncomfortable thinking about.
But we're also at an hour 20.
Of a good question.
I know.
We're almost done. It's a good question.
All right.
Anyway.
So she sings "Get It Right," and Finn makes a face like, "I'm learning something," and it cuts over to Quinn looking like, "I'm angry." And then after they win regionals, Quinn wants Rachel. And Rachel is awarded unanimously the MVP award because we needed to boost this girl's ego even more.
Oh, yeah.
But it is a cute scene because she's like, "I'd like to make a speech," and Santana's like, and here she goes, making me regret voting for her. And she's like, "I have a lot of awards, but this one means a lot because you guys believed in me, so thank you for believing in me, and letting me sing my song." And they're all like, "Oh, MVP," and they hug, and the episode ends. It's cute.
Quinn believed in her the most.
Cute, yeah, like cute.
No.
Yeah, Jay.
No.
That's how God talks.
Oh
no. Yeah, so that's the end of the Rachel storyline. Do we have any more comments on it? No. All right.
No.
So now it's time for the quest for the new original song storyline. So because they can't do MCR, we have to do an original song. There's also a scene with Brittany and Santana that kind of falls outside of all the others, so I'm just gonna put it in here.
It killed me.
Because Brittany comes up to Santana and is like, "Hey, we used to be really close, and I miss our closeness." And Santana's like, "You blew me off to be with Stubbles McCripplepants." And, yeah, I'm like, awkward, cringe. Sue comes up and is like, "You guys quit the Cheerios. You guys are on my dirt list. I play you, I play dirty because I'm mad at you." And they open their lockers and dirt pours out on top of them. And Brittany's like, "I don't even remember putting that in there."
What's crazy?
One of my favorite Brittany quotes.
That's me too.
It reminded me of myself.
What's crazy is that like I was literally about to write, "Wow, Brittany's like saying like smart things. Like she seems cognizant in this. She hasn't said anything dumb." Oh wait, no, she just said something dumb.
But
Brittany has Eric Matthews syndrome, where she's dumb as a box of rocks, and then when it really counts, though, she can say insightful shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, she has emotional intelligence.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Ish.
Yeah. Ish, yeah. But it is sad that Santana is like, doesn't want to be close anymore.
She says like, "I'm gonna go sing a heterosexual song about Sam." And I was like, okay.
Boy, does she.
Yeah.
That was quite the song there.
Frankly, I'm not sure why they didn't sing it at regional.
I'd love to see their regional set with Trouty Mouth.
Yeah.
So they're in Glee Club, and Mr. Shu gives them all rhyming dictionaries to write their own songs while Quinn and Rachel are working on a song. And Santana is like, actually, me and Tina, new pair up,
right,
have been working on a song called Trouty Mouth. And Sam is like, what? And Mike leans over and is like, Trouty Mouth.
Yeah, she said Trouty Mouth.
Yeah.
Mike is hilarious in this song.
Mike's facial expression carried this scene even more than Santana's beautiful voice.
Yeah.
Santana sings the song Trouty Mouth, Guppy Face, Guppy Lips. If you try really hard, you could suck a baby's head.
Like, but it's the style of like a 40s club speakeasy song. I don't know how to explain it, but it's very like jazzy,
right.
And
it's very jazzy.
And I'm like, what is going on? I love it. It made me uncomfortable though.
It was a great tune.
It was great because she's like singing it all sexy, and Sam's so uncomfortable. He's like hiding his mouth,
right?
And Mike is just like loving it. Like
Mike's face is just like, dude.
It's great.
I felt bad for Sam because who wants that?
Yeah.
Really.
And I was like, boy, if I wasn't gay before.
And it's also like Santana, like a lot of people are being very performative in this episode with Rachel trying to figure out, what is deep to her and performing about omelets. And then like Santana, like she's saying like, I'm going to go sing this really heterosexual song. Like she's being very overtly sexual and she's kind of being performative here too. So it's interesting.
Teen performative emotions.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Sam's like, can we stop this? We're not performing a song at regionals called Trouty Mouth. And she was like, oh yeah, I have to say, yeah, we're not. And then Puck is like, I've been working on something. And he sings a song called Big Ass Heart.
Ugh.
Oh, Puckerman.
I hate him.
Do you want to talk about this song, Hannah?
Not really. Can we skip over it?
So
I don't understand why this was supposed to be less offensive than the other one.
I don't think that's what he was getting at, though. I think he was like, oh, I have a song too. And I was like, sit down and shut up.
No, because he literally
that's
says
how I feel about Finn all the time.
Before he performs it, he's just like, I know the last song I sung you offended you, but
oh, you mean like compared to got it, that equally, maybe more because he wrote it himself.
Yeah.
And like this is where I ticked off the box. Puck mentions Lauren's weight because
OMG, same.
That's yeah, it was awful. It was like there was mentions of diabetes, which I think is like this one of two songs that mentions diabetes.
These teens are very focused on diabetes.
And then
diabetes. Let's beat this.
Wow.
And then it was a great reference.
Thank you.
I can't even think of any other lyrics because I literally was like, I need to actively block this out of my mind.
Yeah, it's just like a guitar.
And she loves it. How is she into that? I don't understand.
It changes her character completely.
Yeah.
She should
like, this isn't right.
So then later they're singing, and Mercedes has a song that she wrote called Hell to the No.
Which is a banger.
I loved it. I was like, why the fuck aren't they performing this?
No, it was really, really good. I was like, oh, this is the one they're going to perform at regionals. Nope.
Well, I didn't think that much. Yeah. I definitely thought it was fun to listen to. I did not think it was going to make it to the competition. Because it's literally like these kids being like, hell to the no, and talking about like very specific stuff to Mercedes' life that
I remember thinking that, yeah.
There's no way everyone's gonna be like singing, they want me to change my weave. Like that applies to maybe 4 people in that room. Like, it just didn't make sense.
That's generous.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm taking the Sue Sylvester route of making fun of Shu's hair. But no, like, it didn't make any sense. But it was a banger beat. I kind of wish like they had given Mercedes a bit more songwriting credit because the beat was pretty good.
Well, I remember thinking this would be really good for regionals, but they need to change the lyrics because it's too specific.
Yes.
But they could have done awesome choreography to it. It also, my general opinion is Mercedes is a better soloist than Rachel.
Yeah.
So I'm always there for times that Mercedes can get that spotlight, you know?
For sure.
Oh, yeah.
She does like
But it wasn't
raspy
Rachel's song.
scream sing that just like, ooh, I get chilled. It's so good.
Right? Well, and even as we were watching this episode, like, we were talking about like just how much better Mercedes is. And so we Googled the actors, and I'm blanking on her name because she hasn't done anything horrific and become trending in the media, but like the actress who plays Mercedes has done a lot more. Amber Riley, thank you, has done so much more with her career than Lea Michele has, which just warms my heart a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good times.
Yeah. Good for Amber.
Good for Amber.
Yeah. We're on a first name basis.
What's her last name? Lee?
Riley.
Riley.
Yeah. Good for Ms. Riley.
Very professional.
Our agents will reach out to your agents for permission to use your first name.
So cavalierly.
Yes, quite.
So she sings "Hell to the No," and all the boys write on their notebooks "Hell no" or "Hell to the No," and then Santana is like, "I wrote another verse of Trouty Mouth," and Sam holds up "Hell to the No."
Yeah.
And I'm like, I want to hear another verse of Trouty Mouth.
Like she just put like
hear a whole damn musical.
It was like just another fish with the word mouth.
Okay.
Salmon.
Tuna mouth.
All right. So after Hell to the No, Mr. Shu is like, you guys need to access like something deeper to make these songs shine. What are your favorite songs? And Brittany's like, My Headband.
I need the background. I need to see the scenes where Brittany discovers it. She becomes obsessing over it. I need to know.
Yeah.
And Santana is like, You Oughta Know by Alanis Morissette.
Yeah. She's so gay.
Yeah.
I didn't recognize any of the songs except for My Headband, so I have no context with anything.
Oh my god.
Alyssa's favorite song is My Headband.
Alyssa, I'm gonna send you "You Oughta Know" by Alanis Morissette because you ought to know that song.
I may have heard it before.
I probably have. I just don't recognize the titles.
That's true.
Somebody
Technically, the first time I heard it was Kevin singing it on karaoke in the office.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I like the original version better.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Mr. Shu is like, because all these songs access real pain, and so like, how do you guys feel? And Finn is like, people treat us like losers, like that's how Sue treats us. And Mercedes is like, she literally throws sticks at me, and it cuts to Sue just throwing sticks in her hair.
Like, this is an educator.
Yeah, this is an educator throwing sticks at a child. Like,
a literal minor.
I want to know how she got all of the dirt in the locker.
Good question.
Right? Because she also seemed to rig it so that, like, dirt popped out. And not in just, like, a fallout way, but there seemed to be, like, a forceful, like, throwing dirt at you.
God, I don't know. I've never tried doing, like, a locker prank before, so... no idea.
Yeah, no one would give me their combinations because they knew better.
Yeah, because you're a trickster.
Arr.
That's something everyone should know about.
Watch out. I'll put icy hot on your toilet seat.
Oh.
So Brittany's not invited over anymore.
Have you ever done that to prank someone you live with and then accidentally sat on it yourself?
No.
Because it happened.
I absolutely would have forgotten and then sat on it and freaked out. It's also fun because you can like bake UTI medication into cookies and shit, because if you take it and don't have a UTI, like you're fine, but it does turn your pee like really fun colors. And so then people like eat the cookies and then freak out.
Cool.
That's
So
or nothing happens.
Eating at Brittany's house ever.
No cookies at Brittany's house.
Nope.
I want my pee to be fun color.
There you go. All right. Cullen can have all the cookies.
Yeah, Cullen, you can have the cookies from my portion.
There you go.
So then, so they're talking about like losers and dirt and sticks and all the things that Stu does to them, and they're like, and then Will is like, we have our song title, and he writes "Loser Like Me," and circles them, and they're like, whoa.
Hell yeah.
Say, and I really don't want to say this, but I'm gonna say it. Shu teachered, and he didn't do a bad job.
Yeah, he actually was like getting concepts together and organizing ideas.
Yeah. Like he did it, and I was like, whoa.
First time ever we've seen anything like it.
And I'm gonna say it, probably last.
Oh no!
I don't even remember the rest of, like, I honestly don't know what's next. This is like kind of newish territory for me because I just blocked it out of my memory. I'm just gonna have to say, based on previous however many episodes, this isn't gonna last long.
Oh boy.
No, he's really not good at his job.
There's a whole episode about it in season 3.
Yep.
Well, technically, we already had an episode about it when Holly Holiday showed up, so
right.
Yeah.
Oh,
so then they're at regionals. They're singing Rachel's song in their blue dresses with black leggings.
and they're wearing like tall flat boots, like tall.
Those have a name.
Combat boots.
Those have an actual, like, those are a brand name type of shoe.
What are they?
What is the brand name?
I don't remember. Dang it.
It just kind of felt kind of cacophonous, but in a way, I was like, I buy this because they're teenagers and they kind of just needed to, like, it felt like they had bought the dresses, like, wholesale at, like, some store and then added, someone sewed on, like, whatever the pretty decal at the top was or whatever. It kind of felt like these kids had put it together.
That's a nice feeling because so many times the costumes are so obviously Hollywood.
These definitely felt more grounded.
And there is a scene where Sue comes up to Shu as they're leaving for regionals, and she's like, yeah, I forged the letter from MCR. I actually had an affair with the
Doc Martens.
Oh, are they Doc Martens?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't even notice. I just was like, what are these shoes with this dress? So yeah, I guess they're in Doc Martens.
Which are very expensive shoes.
Yeah, I was gonna say, they're not cheap.
No.
All right, everything
I was like, I recognize
outfits, I lied. I take it back. But no, I think everything from like the mid shins up.
Yeah.
But yeah, Sue reveals that she actually had an affair with the drummer of Jimmy Eat World.
Hell yeah.
Another great band. And she forged the letter, but Shu is like, we're putting on original songs. And she's like, oh, so you're just forfeiting. And so we get there. The judges are revealed to be Rod Remington again, Kathy Griffith,
as Sarah Palin from Ohio.
Yes.
That's what I called her.
Yeah. she was a homeschooler they detailed, and I felt attacked.
You should, because she's a fucking asshole.
I love the nun, though.
Oh my god. We'll talk about when we get there, but she was great. She was a great highlight.
I will say the habit they used was incorrect. They said she was a Carmelite, and Carmelites wear brown because caramel.
I knew this.
Well, so I didn't even.
Yeah.
Oh wait, did they say that in her the actual speech, not the title card?
Anyone who's seen the seminal classic Leone.
Oh my goodness.
We missed her birthday.
Are you going to? You should plug that on social media today.
What?
That we miss Leone's birthday?
No, for people to watch it. Yes.
Absolutely.
Is it even on
classic
streaming or?
I'm gonna say, how does one get a copy?
I think through Ignatius Press Catholic Media.
Wow.
I feel like. Oh boy. Anyway, but so wait, they said that when they were introducing her, not the title card, because my title cards did not come up.
My title cards didn't come up either.
Neither did mine. I did not know that they were supposed to be there.
When they would freeze and go ding.
Yeah, I remember that happened to me another time before, and I had to be like, oh yeah, no, this is what it said. But yeah, for some reason mine weren't working. We should complain to Netflix.
Yeah.
They're why are you watching
I'm
Glee?
trying to rewatch Glee.
Yeah, flaws in my viewing experience.
I would never. That's awful.
So
they wouldn't listen to you anyway.
Yeah, they would literally screen my email and just get rid of it.
So those are the judges, and one of the first group, Sue's group, Oral Intensity, panders by singing "Jesus is a Friend of Mine," and.
Okay, Jessie was part of Oral Intensity, right?
No.
Vocal Adrenaline.
Okay, that's why.
She chose the not stupidly named one. Remember?
Not at all stupidly named.
Not at all stupidly named Oral Intensity.
That I was confused the whole time because I thought he was supposed to be there, and then, is he a senior?
He graduated.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So
yeah.
I just thought that it was because he was a senior and gone. But no, it's a completely different singing group.
You keep mentioning Vocal Adrenaline as if they know Vocal Adrenaline is just going to be at Nationals. Is that a thing? They just know that? We haven't heard anything other than, we're going to see them at Nationals if we get there. And it's but how do you know?
They're just that good, Hannah.
They're just assuming.
Guess.
Because also, if Vocal Adrenaline was at regionals last year, why weren't they this year?
Yeah, do they go to a different regionals?
Does the region change?
Do the regions split up?
There was redistricting.
Yes.
Or were they just
gerrymandering for Glee clubs?
Yeah. So they sing "Jesus is a Friend of Mine," and then the Warblers perform, and then it's the New Directions. They sing Rachel's song, "Get It Right," and then the New Directions come out with their classist hit, "Loser Like Me."
Wait, what did you say?
He said classist.
Okay, cool. I thought it was did he say classic? No, he meant to say classist. Awesome, because I agree.
Because they're
I'll get you back when I'm your boss. I'll see you when you wash my car. And
what's wrong with car washing?
Right.
Yeah.
It pays the bills.
Also, I understand they're getting at that idea of this is making me stronger and better. Cool. But also a lot of bullies become terrible bosses. And
right.
Yeah, because they're good at bullying people.
Yeah. And that's how they get
No one
ahead.
wants to talk about it, but...
And also, just because you bully someone doesn't mean that you're going to end up doing, a blue-collar job.
Exactly. It's...
Harsh take, but karma doesn't really exist.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Let's not insult people's religious views.
Happening in the episode. But yeah, no, it was, the song is a bop. I can sing along to it. I think it's a pretty good.
It was dope.
I
think my one note was wheeling out the slushy machine at the end, because I was like, oh, that's so awesome. But no one in the audience unless they go to McKinley, would get the joke. They'd be like,
exactly.
What?
Okay, cool confetti, but what's with the slushies? And then someone who like knows, like, oh yeah, those kids get really bullied a lot. They get slushies in their face. And the other person's like, oh my god, should someone call the cops?
What happens at this school?
Yeah.
And then you get situations like with Kurt, where it's like, legally we can't do anything to protect you.
Yeah. So that was definitely something I thought. I was like, oh, that's cute. And then I'm like, wait, no one's gonna understand.
No one's gonna get it.
I did like how happy Mike was bringing them out.
Yeah. He was like,
oh yes, it was his shining moment in the number.
Yeah.
It would have been funny if he had been like a little prankster and had filled one of them up with an actual slushie, and then someone in the audience. That's gonna happen.
Now it has to happen.
It's gonna be a big confusion at the end. Everyone's gonna grab their things and throw them, and it's actual slushies, and it's like, oh fuck! Except they're not
just slushied the audience.
Yeah, the splash zone.
It's a sure way to victory.
So then the judges deliberate, and Kathy Griffin is like, I don't think two boys should sing a duet together. That says the message that gay is okay, and that is not a valid lifestyle, and it's not in the Constitution. And then the nun is just like, you have problems.
She also I wonder the great line about like Kathy Griffith's character, Sarah Palin from Ohio, she goes, oh, well, I think the oral intensity singing about Jesus, they should win. And then the nun goes, like, they were just pandering. I didn't even like being pandered to as a stripper. I literally laughed so hard. Oh my god, I had tears in my eyes. That was so funny.
You know, I wonder what Sarah Palin from Ohio would think of boy bands.
Because it's technically
I feel like
a bunch of duets of boys doing duets.
Yeah, but I also feel like they're a staple of straight like preteen and teen culture.
Yeah.
Yes, but they need their equivalent girl band so people can ship them.
One Direction didn't have that though.
Yeah, no, Backstreet Boys didn't either. I don't think.
No, I'm thinking of K-pop.
Oh yeah. A little bit.
Yeah, absolutely that.
Separate.
K-pop and even like are having a moment though. Just
they really are.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of them.
Making a difference.
Yeah, no. Shout out to the K-pop stans.
I was watching TikTok the other night and I saw a TikTok of a guy who was like basically reserved like 100 seats at that thing under the name of Mike Literis. And it just made me really happy.
Oh Lord.
Oh Lord. So one quick thing that I just gotta talk about is the two women are talking, they're deliberating, and then Rod goes, "Can I add a dash of Rod to this lady soup?" And I threw up.
Yes, same.
That was so
really. It was so bad.
Ugh.
He's the one where like every time he comes on screen, I'm like, here we go. I hate everything. What did Sue see in you?
And then he said something about like, well, my hairdresser is a gay and he's married to his partner, a gay, and I think they should be able to raise a family of wigs. And I'm like, what is going on?
And then
I lost my shit.
In Ohio, Kathy Griffin is like, why are they sing about being losers? I'm a politician, and when I lost an election, I tweeted that Obama is a terrorist.
Yeah, and then I was like, you did what? And it's like, it was a fact. I had to do it.
Yeah.
And she's like, we should all ask for birth certificates to prove that they're born in Ohio.
Yeah.
Also, when they like introduced her, like before all the singing and stuff, they called her a Tea Party candidate, and I was like, oh my god, I remember when that was a thing. Holy
right,
shit.
as like major throwback.
Yep, I remember that. They're not really a thing anymore,
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think there's like one pizza place back home in Michigan that still has like tea party flyers, and I see them and laugh.
I'm sure there are some people who still are like tea party.
It didn't really become that major third party that they thought it was gonna.
No.
It's still a very clearly two-party system, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I'm voting to start a monarchist party where the monarch is me.
Oh, okay.
I'd vote for that.
Yeah.
I would not. Sorry, Cullen.
I have Brittany's vote.
Yeah.
Only a couple million more
to go. It's my constitutional right to not have to tell you how I'm voting.
But if it's a monarchy, you won't have any more constitutional rights.
Haha, baby!
I'm undecided.
But also, if it's a monarchy, we don't have monsters like Will Schuester in charge.
Haha.
Baby.
But how do you know there's not going to be a monster
because
in Cullen's
the monarch
future
Cullen will make sure that doesn't happen.
So we're gonna write a monarchical
execution to any of your, what is the word?
My descendants?
Descendants!
No,
I was going to say
should...
ancestors.
Backwards.
I know!
No, there should be a monarchical constitution that stipulates that if any of Cullen's children or beyond are like William Schuester, bye.
Cancelled.
Yes.
The entire monarchy is cancelled and the US of A is thrown into anarchy.
Yes.
Yes.
It's worth it. So they win, the New Directions end up winning. And so I forgot to mention this. After Rachel sings Get It Right, she's like, we are the New Directions. And she very clearly pronounces direction.
I
definitely noticed also, and I was very pleased.
We are the New Directions.
Morgan asked me to make Rachel my LVP of the week just for that statement alone. My answer is not that, but it was requested of me.
Oh, that's great. So after they deliberate, I'm pretty sure they said she was like the first lady of Ohio, right? The governor's
The first lieutenant governor's wife.
Oh,
lieutenant governor's wife.
And then they announced her name, and I was like, why didn't they just announce her name?
Right.
And then say that she's the governor's wife. Or not even say that she's the governor's wife. Just her name is fine.
Because women aren't important unless they're attached to a man.
Her last name is like Turlington, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
someone got married for their money.
As fuck.
She's like, I've been drinking since noon.
She's like, my
husband is verbally
abusive.
And it's like, I went like, ugh, like, yikes, not funny.
I know, and just like, no one reacted to it.
Yeah, everyone was silent, and
they were just like,
what's going on?
They were just like, that's nice, tell us who won now.
Yeah, and she was like, we should just get on with it. And I was
okay, let's be real though. If that actually happened at a competition, nobody would say anything.
That's exactly what would happen. Everyone would be like,
oh shit,
anyway.
Yeah. And so then she announces that the New Directions won, and Sue punches her in the face.
So hard that her shoes fall off.
Oh my god, really? I didn't even see that.
Yes!
It was a solid, I mean, I give Sue 10 out of 10 for, quality, but a 1 out of 10 for motivation.
Oh my god, guys. We totally forgot. So when they're singing Loser Like Me, the back screen comes up. You know who's there? The band from the choir room. Bobo Jackson from Hannah Montana slapping the bass.
Yep.
And
I freaked out.
And one last thing before we complete talking about this episode. Underneath their chairs, they suddenly have all these like L-shaped foam fingers. And when
Kurt, like the number one,
Oh my gosh, yes, and also, so they have all of the, they just came out from under the chairs?
Yeah, Kurt just pulls it out from under the chair, and
so
it's like...
he has, like, 50,000 under his chair.
Yeah, and he just starts passing them out.
To the entire audience.
Yeah, the entire audience gets that.
Which they're under
tells me that
chairs. But they also do that. They have to do something like that with the candles too, because
when they were singing candles,
that means that's
everyone
why oral
candles.
intensity lost is because they didn't bring a souvenir for everybody. That's really why they lost. They should got everyone like I don't know,
Jesus, holy cards.
Yeah, something like that. Copies of VeggieTales. I don't know.
Well, you know what? You need that audience interaction.
Those little plastic rosaries that are cheap.
Yes.
Really, really cheap.
Yeah. Like the ones I probably bought from Amazon to make my Madonna costume for Halloween a couple years ago.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then so that's everything in this episode. So I guess it is Tina time.
Oh boy.
Woo!
I didn't count any.
No lines for Tina.
Yeah, she set a piano and she smiled. Yep. And then she made like another smiling face in a different shot.
And then she danced a little bit.
She sang in the background.
Fat zero.
Yeah. That's sad.
This is like the new Bechdel test.
Yeah. It kind of is like it's probably just gonna keep being very weird. Like sometimes she'll have lines and then she'll go forever without lines.
The most she had was over 30, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not quite 40.
I think we just never decided on like what counts as a single line because there were a couple who were like, oh yeah, I got 10, I got 15. And it's like, wait, what? So she does talk a lot sometimes. Most of the time it's not a lot.
Yeah.
I count a line as being broken by someone else's speech.
Okay. Now that it's been made official in this episode.
Yes.
Yeah.
Still 0.
I count the same way because we usually count together if we watch together.
Right.
So, yeah.
And then sometimes you guys get different numbers, and that
that's
the best part too. I'm like, oh, contention.
Yeah.
Who wasn't paying attention?
Probably me. Going out on a limb.
I like your self-awareness.
It's one of the things that I'm good at.
Being self-aware or
being self-aware. Okay. Or counting Tina lines.
That's what I was gonna say.
We just established that I'm not good at that.
So, MVPs and LVPs. Brittany, who is your least valuable player this week?
Least valuable player was actually Kurt for waiting a week to bury his goddamn bird.
Valid. Yeah.
Wasn't a fan of that.
Bad.
It really would have, and like, was it worth it to bedazzle it? Was it worth it to make out with Blaine? Probably.
Maybe he put him in the freezer.
Was it worth it?
Yeah.
Still gross.
People do that, like
still not great.
Yeah.
People put pets in the freezer all the time.
If it's like winter
very
time
true.
in like the Midwest or wherever you are and it's cold, you can't get really through the ground. Yeah.
Gotta do the freezer.
Or the hamster dies and you got a full week of work and you don't have time to hold a funeral until the weekend.
That's
okay.
Or you have to practice for regionals.
Hannah, who's your LVP?
It was a Sarah Palin knockoff. I don't know if we'll ever see her again, but I fucking hated her.
She sucked. That was my LVP too. She's the worst.
That was valid.
I hadn't decided. You guys went too quickly.
Okay, let me also throw in Puck for Big Ass Heart.
Oh, yeah.
100%. Smart.
I forgot that happened because
That's
I
solid.
actively blocked it from my mind.
Good.
I still can't really decide, and I'm feeling indecisive, so I'm just gonna go with Ohio Sarah Palin.
Yeah. It's a very solid choice. Rod was also a close second.
Ooh. I forgot
this is gross.
That. Typically, everyone...
I switched my vote to Rod because you guys already voted for Ohio Sarah Palin.
Yeah, like usually everyone who's in the like deliberating room who's a judge is awful. That nun, she was pretty cool.
Oh yeah, I like her.
She just needed a home and a place to stay off the pole. You know?
Yes.
Yeah. She reminds me of my 7th grade teacher, who was also, well, technically they're sisters, but she like showed me how to pick a lock. It was great.
Oh, I love that.
That's crazy.
That's awesome.
Yes. She is cloistered now, so I can't talk to her. But
that sucks.
Yeah. Well, for me. Probably not for her.
Yeah, valid.
True.
Brittany, who is your MVP?
MVP was hands down Quinn for giving us a moment of rare depth and also for giving us, you know, insights into her feeling into Rachel, and also for being Rachel's muse and getting her to a place that she needed to get to write that killer song.
Very nice.
Good. Yeah.
Quinn's always my MVP. Come on.
My MVP is kind of on the other side of that. I'm gonna go with Rachel.
Nice.
Because there was actually something really satisfying about seeing her be able to really to have that moment with that song, and then everyone to unanimously be like, yeah, like you stood up for us and got us, you know, really helped us with this win. Yeah, there's just like a lot of good feelings for Rachel that happened that you know, she's on her path to stardom, and I'm happy for her.
Yeah, it kind of felt like the first time that we actually can envision Rachel being a star.
Yeah.
Yeah. For sure.
And she didn't have to do many bad things really to do this. Like, she was pretty not terrible. Like, she was pretty nice overall. So I'm proud of her for being able to be like, I want to do this for the team. I really want it to be good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm torn. I
also covered in Glee in the future.
Because I liked Rachel's. I would give Rachel. I'd give it to Quinn. I'd give it to Brittany solely for saying my headband is her favorite song.
And that hat she wore.
And the hat. But
and
I'm
not remembering how she put the dirt in the locker.
True.
Yes. I'm giving it to Blaine because Kurt brought up to Blaine, hey, you're the center of attention all the time. And instead of being like, how dare you, Blaine took it to heart and decided to change things up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the regular martyr he was. Is? I don't know.
I think he's still alive after this episode. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he
present tense.
And he also had a nice kiss with Kurt.
A very nice kiss. Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna give my vote to Mercedes because I liked her song.
Nice.
Yeah.
It was super catchy.
It was awesome.
It was.
And she sang it so well.
It slapped.
I still think it could have been for regionals if they had shifted the lyrics around a bit.
They could have even like combined the idea of Loser Like Me with the Hell to the No thing. I think that could have worked.
Yeah.
More energy.
Ooh, yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
I love that.
So speaking of songs, Brittany, what was your least favorite song this week?
It was a tie between Big Ass Heart and Trouty Mouth.
Mm.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. There weren't any that I like actively disliked because none were like overtly inappropriate for teenagers or anything like that. And you know, Mr. Schuster didn't perform, so
that's always
you know, it's always a win. But yeah, I think it's a tie between those two.
So I actively blocked out Puck's song. So I didn't even think about that one. I went with sort of like the main, I'm going to say arcana, for lack of a better word right this second, of songs. The major arcana. I went with Blackbird. It was kind of a close second between that and Candles because they were both more slow and I kind of just like wasn't super into them. But I went with Blackbird instead just because I wasn't really into so much crying.
I'm gonna go with Big Ass Heart. Not a fan. And there were so many songs this week. It's hard to pick.
That too. Yeah.
There were a lot of songs. I'm gonna go with Candles because I was severely disappointed in their performance together. Their duet was so not what I was expecting, and I wanted it to be so much more.
Yeah, valid.
They should have done a Katy Perry song as a duet.
Yes.
They should have done Thinking of You.
Oh.
When I'm with him, I'm thinking of you.
Ooh, that would have been good.
I need to hear it. I can't.
Yeah. After this, go back and listen to it. It's a good one.
No, yeah. I want to know now.
When I saw Katy Perry in concert, she sang it while floating on a giant planet.
Oh my god. Was that the concert that I almost got to go to?
Yeah.
I'm kicking myself every time you mention it.
I love it.
So, Brittany, what was your favorite song?
It was actually Blackbird, which is why I was a little surprised when Hannah said it was her least favorite, just because, yeah, I mentioned earlier, a lot of times I have a hard time connecting with Kurt's music, just because a lot of times he is being so performative, and because he doesn't have Rachel Berry or like Mercedes Jones's voice, it just doesn't resonate. And so actually having a moment when I felt like I could connect with him through the music was great, and it was also just very much in his register and had like depth and a lot of things that I'm usually missing from his music. And so it was just like, wow, Kurt, good job, buddy. And like, it was just emotive, and you know, it was also growth for him as a team member, because as we talked about earlier, you know, he it was a song that like the other warblers could join in on, and it became a group mourning session. And so I just thought, you know, the rest of the songs rose to my expectations of how awesome or whatever or weird that they were going to be, but he actually rose above, so he gets the favorite spot this week.
Nice.
Hannah?
I am actually going to go with how I think every episode should start, with Blaine singing. I'm going to go with Misery. I thought it was a really good cover, and I actually was like, I think this is better than the original song, and I like Maroon 5. But I genuinely thought that was a bop. They like pound on the tables. It was pretty dope. So I'm going to go with Misery.
I love it.
Again, this is such a good episode. I'm having a hard time picking. So I'm going to give my top 2 or my top 3.
Oh my god.
No, not allowed.
Yes.
So there's Raise Your Glass. I loved it. I love that song. I love the cover.
So good.
I liked Rachel's ballad. I thought it was good and emotive, even if a little disingenuous. And I loved Trouty Mouth.
Oh my god.
I love it.
This is amazing. Just a fun moment of television.
True.
Very true.
I'm gonna go with Loser Like Me, because
Did someone die? They were like, Loser Like Me.
What is happening? No? Okay, they're really dead. Hello? Hannah?
What?
Are you alive?
Yeah,
okay.
Me.
What happened?
Who was blowing into their mic?
I think it was maybe someone was just moving around.
Okay.
It might have been me. I accidentally like kicked my laptop.
It was Brittany. Okay.
But it was just funny timing. Because he was like, loser like me, and it was like...
Sorry, guys.
I always know that I like a song when I can start singing to it before I know the lyrics.
Mm-hmm.
This happened with Loser Like Me.
Yeah.
And it's also a strange thing when I'm listening to the radio with someone I don't know and I start singing along and they're like, oh, you know this song? And I'm like, nope.
Yeah, it's super catchy. That was actually my second. Yeah, it is. It's a bop, and like it'll come on my playlist, and I'll listen to it because it's pretty good.
Yeah.
So that was original song. Brittany, thank you so much for coming on. I hope you had a good time.
Yeah.
I had a great time. Thank you for letting me come on and ramble about Faberry and talk about Glee.
Anytime.
Of course.
Yeah. Do you have any social medias you'd like to plug?
You can find me wherever at BS Initials. Twitter, Instagram, Twitch. That's where I'm at. How about you guys? Any socials to plug?
Yeah, so we are at Gleeboot Pod on Instagram and Twitter. And then we're on Tumblr, gleebootpod.tumblr.com.
I'm going to be honest, I did not know there was a Tumblr for it. I'm following you guys right fucking now.
It's a lot of just like reblogs. That's actually how I even learned about Faberry, because I was just like on there like, oh, I'm going to like reblog some stuff, populate. And I was like, Faberry, what is this? And I saw a lot of like the man-ups you're talking about and like GIFs and stuff. And I was like, I had no idea this was a thing. So yeah.
It is. And the thing is like once you know about it, because I didn't know it was a thing until I watched through it in like 2015, 2016. And once you know about it, just start paying attention to Quinn's looks at Rachel.
Honestly, like, you were talking about it, and then I was thinking about the scene in this episode, and I was like, I can see it. Like, I get it.
Yeah. Like this is just you're getting an insight into her forming feelings, and it's beautiful.
I'm excited. I'm excited to see Faberry grow as we go on our Glee journey.
Just wait. Wait.
You can follow me on YouTube at your boy Ryan, YABOI Ryan, and on Instagram at TikTok at your boy Ryan99. Allyssa?
Why is it 99?
Because that is how old the character was born in 99.
Gotcha. Sorry, I was very distracted.
The same year that I Can Only Imagine came out.
Yeah, it's about Ryan, actually.
Okay, you can follow me at a.m.swearingen, SWEARINGEN. That's it. That's the whole thing. That's for Instagram.
That's the tweet.
Yeah, it's Instagram.
All right. Well, so that is the end of our episode. Tune in next week for the Night of Neglect. Again, thank you so much, Brittany, for coming on. We're glad you had a good time.
Yay.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, this was a great time. So tune in next week, guys. Bye.
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 Bye.